Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Maranga, Namo Namaha, Jai Garanga, Jai Nishingare. So we're looking at Lofa taal still here. We've done a lot of hand practices, given some foundational kirtan mantras, both kind of slow, extended, and a little bit of medium speed. We haven't shown too many foundational mantras. We're going to get to those later. Now I've got written some dehis here, so we're going to start looking at the different dehi structures of Lofa taal. We're going to look at your simple ones like Tedekita Ja, then double speed to the Gidagading in the Ja, exactly the same as you're familiar with in Das Beher, except they're written differently. Then we're going to look at your Kotetagegitetes. They're written differently as well in order to fit 6 instead of 8. But all of those mantras that you're familiar with in Das Beharital can also be transferred over. So you have all those beautiful decorations and Antidikitajas and all of those different endings. A lot of people are not obviously playing these or familiar with these. So this will be kind of new territory for you and kind of absorb what I'm presenting and get the idea of it, and then we'll show a different style. There's two other, there's 3 different ways of doing dehis in Lofa taal, and then there's also decorations for one of those versions, like the Ketetegegetetes, and then you have the short version. Then you have one where you break up the whole second half into a dehi. And then there's also a version where you're doing a different style of dehi from the Rama Rama version there. Instead of having the ek-do spacing, there's not really any spacing. So we'll show these. You might not know what I'm talking about yet, but we'll present a few of these here, and then we'll kind of continue on, and you'll see all the different variations. So this, and then there's a few other different dehi styles as well that aren't technically dehis because they're not in 3s. They're kind of more decorations, but there's 2 other versions that you can use as well in your repertoire here for endings, and we'll show those too. So the easiest that we're going to show here now is Dini Nakaja Ek Do. The Ek Do are like spacings, just like when we go Tereketa Ja or Tereketa Ganegena Ja Cut. So now we have Dini Nakaja, instead of a cut, we have Dini Nakaja, 2 spaces Ek Do, Dini Nakaja Ek Do. Dini Nakaja 1 2, Dini Nakaja 1 2, Dini Naka. The reason we have this spacing is because you have 12 and plus a 13th when you have your dehi come back onto the first beat of your next taal. So we have, 13 spots, and you have to have something in order for it to be a dehi. You have to have 3 distinct, even sections of something. So the only way to do that in this particular case, when you're ending on the Rama Rama for a simple version, is to have Dini Naka Ja 1 2, Dini Naka Ja. So you have 3 3, and then Dini Naka, and then the Ja falls onto the taal. So this is why it's called a dehi. You have 3 separate sections, and mathematically you have to work through how you can take your taal structure and create 3 different sections, and there's different ways of doing that in each taal structure. So here the first one is Dini. So Dini Naka, Dini Naka Ja Ek Do, Dini Naka Ja Ek Do, Dini Naka, and then that comes into the Da Dini, or whatever foundational mantra you're playing comes back into that. So if you're chanting here, you've got Dini Naka Ja Ek Do, Dini Naka Ja Ek Do, Dini Naka. So there's this nice little space there. As you get better, you can add a cut onto the do if you want. You can have Dini Naka Ja Ek Cut, Dini Naka Ja Ek Cut, Dini Naka. Lots of different things. You could put anything in there. Lots of different things that can happen. But just for, an initial presentation here, we're giving Dini Naka Ja Ek Do, Dini Naka Ja Ek Do, Dini Naka. And if you count out in your fingers, you'll see this equals exactly 12. the last jaw falls on the first taal of your next 12 of your Lofa taal. So we'll look at this again. Dini, so this is dini naka. The naka is always a ge. Dini, if you're in your guru, it's a ge. Dini naka ja ek do. Dini naka ja. Dini naka da. Dini dini. And then you're going back into your foundation. So let's chant with this. Let's see here. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And then you're dini naka ja ek do, dini naka ja ek do, dini naka. So Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So we'll start at Rama Rama again. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when you're going to Kiki Naka Di, and then you're Kiki, or whatever foundational mantra you're playing, Kiki Ti De. Let's say Da Dini Dini Da Dini Dini Da Dini Dini Da Ti De Ti De Dini Naka Ja Ek Do Dini Naka Ja Ek Do Dini Naka. Kiki Ti De Kiki Kiki Ti De Dini Naka Ja Ek Do Dini Naka Ja Ek Do Dini Naka. So that's your first kind of introduction. So Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So Dini Naka Ja, that's your first one there. Again, you know, you can have Tere Kita Ja Ekdo here as well. So Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So with any of these, just the original foundational mantra here, you're going ti te ti de, and then from that day, you can go, and this segues into this. So ti te ti de dini naka ja, right? Ti te ti de, and then dini naka ja ekdo. Or you're going ti te ti de tere keta ja ekdo, tere keta ja ekdo, tere keta. Ti te ti de tere keta ja ek do, tere keta ja ek do, tere keta. Or ti te ti de dini naka ja ek do, dini naka ja ek do, dini naka. So those are like, if you're playing that particular mantra what we gave before, ti te ti de. After the de, you're on 3 fingers. You're either coming into a tere keta or a dini naka ja. So those are your kind of 2 options there. Again, many different things that we can show here, but that's just the first version. I already gave this mantra like, you know, a year and a half ago, but it's buried somewhere. So we'll just go over this again and then kind of segue into this a little bit. So this is starting with the decoration and then having the same tehai that we're showing here. So K tete gege tete gege tete kete gege tete kete gege tete tere kete ja ekto, just like ko tete gege tete gege tete ko, right? Ko tete gege tete ko te gege tete ko tete gege tete ko te gege tete, or K tete gege tete kete kete gege tete. However you want to phrase it. We're very familiar with Bablu Prabhu teaching this in Das Behara taal, but he's not giving it in Lofa taal. All you have to do is make a few adjustments. Instead of K, tete, gege, tete, kote, gege, tete, we just need 6 now instead of 8. K, tete, gege, tete, and then tete, gege, tete, right? Ke te te ge ge. So you've got ke te te ge ge, and then te te ge ge te te. Ke te te ge ge te te. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. So you're just extending. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. Instead of kote ge ge te te. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. And then ke te ge ge te te ke te ge ge te te. So 6 again. Ke te ge ge te te. 3. Ke te ge ge te te. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te 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 ke te. So you're segueing again here. So you got the ke te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Te te ke te. Ja ek do. Te te ke te. Te te ke te. So let's look at this before we chant. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Te te ke te. So be careful with this to get the fingering right. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Te te ke te. Ja ek do. Te te ke te. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Te te ke te. Ja ek do. Te te ke te. Ja ek do. Te te ke da. Da di ni. So slow. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Ke te ge ge te te. Te te ke te. Ja ek do. Te te ke te. Ja ek do. Te te ke te. Now with chanting. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So again. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So we'll do that from Rama there. It doesn't matter if you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. It's the same thing. You've still got your same amount of spaces that we're filling. We'll do it nice and slow here. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ha. So once more. Ke te te ge ge te te ge ge te te ke te ge ge te te ke te ge ge te 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 ke te ja ek do te te ke te ja ek do te te ke te. So we got that one. So let's show the next one here as well. So we got dini teeny, doggy teeny, dini teeny, taka tide dini ja. Tidigga ja ek do. So now we're doing a double speed. Tidigga ja ek do. Tidigga. So let's look at this. Dini teeny, doggy teeny, taka tide dini ja. Again. Dini teeny. So this is just dini teeny. Then da, doggy teeny, teeny, taka tide, dini ja. So that's the decoration. Dini teeny, doggy teeny, taka tide, dini ja. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Then your dehi. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Dehi again, once more. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Dehi, decoration, dehi, two different things. You can change the decoration at the front of a dehi. You can change the dehi at the back end of a decoration. You can switch them, swap them around, whatever. So once more here. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Now dehi. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So here we're going. Tedeketa, right? Tedeketa, gate. Tedeketa, gate, gena. Tedeketa, gate, gena, ja. Tedeketa, gate, 4 fingers closed. Gate, gena, ja. Tere kita gata gena ja. Tere kita gata gena ja. Tere kita gata gena. Quicker. Tere kita gena ja. Tere kita gena ja. Now that te is very strong as well. Tere kita gena ja. Tere kita gena ja. Tere kita. Really emphasize that's the strongest part of the mantra. So now with everything together. Deeni teeny, deeni teeny, doggy teeny, deeni teeny, taka teeny, deeni ja, titty gonna get a jaw, heck do, titty gonna get a jaw, heck do, titty gonna deeni teeny, deeni teeny, doggy teeny, deeni teeny, taka teeny, deeni, titty gonna get a jaw, heck do, titty gonna get a jaw, heck do, deeni teeny, deeni teeny, doggy teeny, deeni teeny, taka teeny, deeni ja, titty gonna get a jaw, heck do, titty gonna get a jaw, heck do, titty gonna get a. So now let's chant with this. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Just a sec. I just gotta do something. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Just had to do something there. Okay. So we'll do this again. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that's the whole decoration there. Very nice. They're meant to be played, in slower kirtans at the start, just like in Das Beharatal, you always play your dehis like these in the slower sections of the kirtan before things start to speed up. Luckily, Lofa taal remains slow, for a lot of the time, especially if it's like Damadarastikam. We're not really speeding up too much. So if you learned a lot of these, you'd have a lot of opportunity to play a lot of beautiful mantras and present them, for Krishna. And I'm sure he would very much appreciate hearing these in the temples more if people can spend some time learning these. So again, we've got deeni teeny, doggy teeny, deeni teeny, taka ti de deeni ja, titika ja, ek do, titika ja, ek do, titika da deeni. Just like that. Okay. Hare Krishna will continue on again as soon as I have some time.